Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new edition of the podcast. This is your boy, your host, Darnell the Playmaker Sallins, and I am here alone because we finna talk some college basketball today. Last time you heard from me when we talked basketball, it was me and Kim when we previewed the college basketball season back in early in November. Now that we are in the month of December now, got pretty much a good month in of basketball. So I want to get in here and let's talk some college basketball. So for starters, as we begin here, let's look at what's transpired so far in college basketball world. So we kicked off the season on November 5th with the State Farm Champs Classic. You had Kentucky take down Michigan State in a 2-1 matchup. 69-62. Then you had the 4 seed, the number 4 team in the country, the Duke Bluebirds, take down the number 3 team in the country, Kansas Jayhawks, 68-66. Both games was great to watch. Both games was incredible. Kentucky looked good. Duke looked good. These are the 4 Bluebirds of the program, and they put it on display to kick off the season. The defending champs, the Virginia Capitals, they kicked off the day after on November 6th, and they went to the Carrier Dome and took down Syracuse in a much lower scoring game. 48-34. They do better, sticking to what they are. Jay Wright and the crew, defensive team. And as you see from the score of that, only Syracuse, led by Jim Boeheim, only scored 34 points at home. Also on the 6th, Ohio State took down Cincinnati 64-56. Ohio State is a good team. I'll get to them in a minute. You had an armed versus classes on November 8th, where Washington upset at 16 ranked Baylor at the time, 67-64. The day after, November 9th, Texas took down and upset needed 66. The Florida State Seminoles continue to own the Florida Gators in basketball when they went to Gainesville to the Old Dome and upset the Gators 63-51. In my next segment, we're going to talk about the Florida Gators because I got some things I need to say. Florida State still controls the state of Florida when it comes to college basketball. Also on the 10th of November, 21 ranked Arizona at the time, they took down Illinois 90-69. On November 11, Winthrop. Some of you who are new to the basketball world or haven't been watching college basketball that much, Winthrop used to be a team that you used to hear a lot back in early 2000s. So they upset it 18th ranked St. Mary's 61-59 in a very competitive game. One of the biggest upsets of the season came on November 12th as Evansville went to Rupp Arena and took down Kentucky, who was ranked number 1 at the time, 67-64. Shot the basketball world early. It was amazing to hear and see number 1 Kentucky go down at home the way that they did. Then you had the Field Night Invitation. It was just a great game. Oregon took down Memphis. James Wiseman did play in that game. And he's now suspended he won't be back to January. But he did play in that game, and Oregon still was able to take down Memphis. Xavier 21. At the time, they took down Missouri 63-58. Game went in overtime. A very competitive game. Another upset was VCU took down 23rd ranked LSU at the time, as LSU was on the road to VCU 84-82. Watched the first side of the game. It looked like it was going to be a blowout, but LSU came back and made it again. VCU still upset the Tigers. Ohio State then went on. Ohio State on the 13th of November upset and beat down Villanova. Jay Wright, he had a lot of chance. A 25-point loss. That's rough. That's rough right there. 76-51 Ohio State over Villanova. Marquette took down Purdue by 10, 65-55. Northwestern took down Providence 72-53. Michigan State, led by Kansas Winston, they rebounded and took down Seton Hall 76-73 in a very good game. Very competitive game, by the way. Very competitive game. You had UConn took down 15-ranked Florida 62-59. Like I said, I'm gonna get to them. I'm gonna get to the Florida Gators in a minute, who came back in 4 days later on the 21st of November and took down St. Joe's 70-62. Georgetown upset Texas, who was ranked 22 at the time, 82-66. Very good game. Very good game. You had the 2K Empire Classic, where Duke took down that same Georgetown team who took down Texas 81-73. Villanova bounced back from that disappointing beatdown that they took on at Ohio State. And they took down Mississippi State 83-73. Memphis came back on the 23rd and beat and took down Ole Miss. Very, very competitive game. Ole Miss hooking as long as they could, but eventually Ole Miss kind of held their ground and got the victory. The Air Force basketball tip-off, Arizona State took down St. John's 80-67. In the same matter the day after, Virginia, the defending champs, took down Arizona State 48-45. When you play Virginia, you probably won't get to 60. You definitely ain't gonna get to 70. You might get to 50. But when you play the defending champs, you're gonna be in for a defensive struggle. So you're not gonna score that many points. They are very great at defensive. They are very tremendous defensively. Baylor upset Villanova 87-78 in the Myrtle Beach Invitation. Charleston Classic, Florida took down and upset 18th ranked Xavier 70-65. This after Florida was not even ranked. We'll get to why. You had the Maury Invitation, where Dayton took down Georgia, Virginia Tech took down Michigan State, BYU took down UCLA. All other stuff happened. Also then, Michigan State took down Georgia. Kansas took down BYU. And following that, you had Michigan State take down UCLA. Kansas took down Dayton to win the Maury. I'm just giving you the key games from the week. I ain't giving you the whole entire tournaments and stuff like that. These just the key games from Maury. So, yet again, in Maury, they open up with Dayton beating Georgia, Virginia Tech upsetting Michigan State, BYU taking out UCLA. The following day was Michigan State over Georgia, Kansas over BYU, and then Michigan State over UCLA. That was your third place game, but your championship was Kansas taking out Dayton. Look out for the Dayton. Dayton has a team. Dayton will be in the tournament. I'm telling you this right now in the month of December. I'm looking for Dayton to be in the NCAA tournament. You had Pitt take down K-State. Fort Myers tip-off 63-59. The other upset of a shocking number one team going down at home. Stephen F. Austin went to Duke and took down number one Duke 85-83 in overtime. If you seen it, your eyes were stunned. When you even seen the highlights, your eyes were stunned. Stephen F. Austin took down Duke Blue Devils. Battle for Atlantis were another team that you might want to watch out for. You had UNC take down Alabama, Michigan take down Iowa State. But that's not all what Michigan did. But let me continue on. Oregon took down Seton Hall over in Atlantis. Then you had Michigan take down North Carolina. They took down the Tar Heels. The Tar Heels about it back, but Michigan was in control of that game. Don't let that score fool you. 73-64. Don't let it fool you. Michigan was dominant in that game. You had Gonzaga take down Oregon in overtime 73-72. Worried. Peyton Richards and Oregon. Oregon still got these balls. They had a lot of turnover, but they still got. Look, what's going on in Oregon? It's not gonna stop no time soon. Gonzaga is Gonzaga. Mark Few, he's been there almost for 25 years. Like he has a culture there, and that culture is not going to change. And that's why you always hear about Gonzaga. But in the championship game, however, Michigan dominated Gonzaga. Gonzaga had no answer for Michigan. Juwan Howard, first year as a head coach, has Michigan looking like game busters. These guys here are not playing games. Simpson, you got Tiskey. Tiskey's probably like 7'1", 7 feet. They are not playing. Juwan Howard has these boys playing. Watch out for Michigan. Michigan could be a team to make a big run in these different tournaments. Matter of fact, they won the Murray. Fun fact, as I was watching the Murray Invitation, the past two champions of the Murray Invitation actually won their national championship. Villanova did 2 years ago in 2017. Last year, Virginia won the Murray Invitation, and you notice they won the NCAA tournament both respective years. Can Michigan make it 3 in a row? We will see. But that's just a fun fact to throw out there. What else noticeable games that happened? West Virginia took down Wichita State, which is a good one. You had Harvard took down Texas A&M 62-51. Harvard got some games coming up. I'm looking forward to Harvard. They was in a battle with Maryland, but they came up short. The following day. Florida State, remember I told you they went on the road to Florida and beat Florida? Well, they was on the road to another SEC East team in Tennessee who was ranked 17, and they upset them 60-57. So Florida State can go on the road and upset SEC teams like it ain't nothing. Go figure. San Diego State took down Iowa 83-73 in Las Vegas. And what happened? Just on the first of December, Maryland over Marquette 84-63. Maryland is sending a message. Michigan, Maryland, Ohio State. Of course, you're gonna have your Wisconsin up in there, your Purdue up in there. You might have somewhere, but Michigan, Ohio, Maryland, the 3 teams in the Big East that I just said. Pay attention. Matter of fact, I got Michigan's schedule up here right now. They are 7-0. They beat Appalachian State. They beat Creighton. They have beaten Houston Baptist. They beat Elon. They beat Iowa State, North Carolina, Gonzaga. They are 7-0. Their next game, though, however, I'm looking forward to. They got a stretch that I'm looking forward to. They going to Louisville. They got Iowa. They are at Illinois. They got Oregon. I'm looking at the Louisville game, the Iowa game, the Oregon game. I'm looking at those games in the month of December. We're gonna see, can Juwan Howard keep this team going? But this team is going good. This team is looking great. Maryland, them Terrapins, boy. Hey, if you're a Scott Pep fan like me and you like watching Sports Center late at night with Scott Van Pelt, you're going to hear a lot about Maryland basketball season. Because Maryland is up there. And they up there for a reason. Ohio State is coming. Ohio State ain't playing. Ohio State 7-0. Michigan 7-0. Maryland 8-0. Indiana 7-0. Illinois 6-1. Penn State 6-1. Workers is 6-1. I need to see all these teams and how they are playing. Michigan State already had 2 losses, but they was the highest ranked Big Ten team going into the season. What does that tell you? There's a lot to keep going. There's a lot going on. We got a lot going on. We got a lot coming up. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? It's a long process. It's a hard, thought-out process. Yeah, I know. I was there. from March of this year thinking about how I'm going to do this, doing all my research, trying to get everything right. What platforms can we use and how we going to record it and how we going to make it sound good and make it all this happen. And then I came upon Anchor. The Anchor app on my phone, the easiest choice I could ever make to do a podcast. It's free to use. You don't got to pay for nothing. You can record episodes whenever you're ready. You can edit it and then you can release them when you want to. And you don't have to worry about trying to figure out how you're going to distribute it on other platforms, because Anchor has partnerships with Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Castbox, Pocket Cast, whatever you name it. Because the Playmaker podcast is the podcast that I use. We are on all them platforms. We are on 9 platforms just by using the Anchor app. So pretty much all the questions that you have questions about doing a podcast, go to the Anchor app or go to the Anchor website, anchor.fm.com, and just search through it, ask questions. Because I tell you, a free app that does all this, there's nothing more you can ask for. I even got friends, they doing their podcast on the Anchor app. Faith Talk, you might have heard of it because it's very good. And it's great that it's an app like this, it's a website like this that makes it easier for people to do podcasts and do what they love best, talking about the things that they love to talk about. So give Anchor a try, see how much you like it. We'll love to hear your podcast. Let's switch gears here, and we're going to get into another matter, the Florida Gators. Ladies and gentlemen, the Florida Gators are 6-2. Now, if you hit a record, there's no room for concern. You will be also wrong, because there's a lot to be concerned with when it comes to the Florida Gators. The Florida Gators came into the season ranked 6th in the preseason rankings. Came in 6th. They opened it up against UNF, North Florida, University of North Florida. For those who are not familiar with UNF, they won 74-59. Okay, good start. Got your first one on your belt. Good, though. Here comes Florida State. And remember, I told you earlier how the game went. Florida State wins 63-51. 12-point game, and it felt like it's a 12-point game. It felt like 25. Florida State was hitting their shots, and Florida couldn't buy a freaking bucket. Blackshear struggling, Napier struggling, Johnson struggling, everybody struggling. And yet again, for the 5th or 6th time in a row, Florida State has beaten Florida. That's a problem. You can't beat your in-state rivals. That's a problem. Then you go on, you play Townsend, and you only win by 66-60. And then after that, you go to UConn and you get dropped by UConn. We talked about that earlier. 62-59. Through 4 games, though, first UNF, FSU, Townsend, and UConn. Florida went from 6 to 15 to unranked in 4 games. I'm saying, playing North Florida, Florida State, Townsend, and UConn. They went from 6 to 15 to unranked after they lost to UConn. After they lost to Florida State, they got dropped down to 15. When they played UConn, they got upset again, and they fell out the rankings. That is a problem. That is a problem. But you come back, you 70-62. You blow out Miami. You just beat the brakes off Miami. 78-58, okay? Then you upset, Xavier. 70-65. Now you back in the rankings, and then you play Marshall at home, and you win that game 73-67. So you lost to Florida State, you lost to UConn. You beat Townsend only by 6. You beat Marshall only by 6. But you blow out Miami. You handle your business with UNF, and you upset Xavier. What is going on with this team? Only 3 players on average double-digit points per game, and they ain't even high double-digit points per game. These are 10 points per game. What are we talking about when it comes to the Florida Gators? I'm not understanding what's going on here with Mike White. Mike White, you had the best transfer recruit there was in Blackshear. Napehart has been in the system before. Johnson has been in the system. You have Locke is a freshman. Yeah, I get that. You have some other freshmen, but what is going on here? Why are we struggling so much right now? Six basketball guy like I am. What you seeing from the Florida Gators is not good. It's not good whatsoever. They rank 24 now, but Keontae Johnson averaging 13 points per game. Last year's averaging just about 13 points per game. Nemhard is averaging 10 points per game. Yeah, Scotty Lewis at 8. Locke is at 8, at 5. Not a lot of production on the points and getting buckets. It's not a good thing. He averaging 67.6 points per game. Shooting 43.5% per game. Shooting 70% from free throw as a team. That's a team. Now I was mad earlier, but I ain't not as mad as I was, cause you know what? It's a long season, so they got upcoming games coming up. I'm gonna see. They are on the road on the 7th. They are at Buck. That game will be televised on Fox at 12 o'clock, 12 noon, Saturday, December 7th at Butler. The world will be watching. We need to see improvement, gentlemen. I need to feel better about the Florida Gators being a deep run tournament team, because right now I'm not feeling good about a tournament run. I feel like a one and done team right now. But there's room. But there's more time in the season. They got Providence on the 17th. That's a neutral site game where they play in the Air Force Reserve Hall of Fame Invitational. Then 4 days after that, on the 21st, before Christmas, they had another neutral site game when they play in the Orange Bowl Classic. I believe that would be in Miami somewhere. When they play 15 ranked Utah State. That game right there, to circle. Because Utah State ain't playing. Utah State is a team that people see doing something. Long Beach State on the 28th after Christmas. They should win that game. They start conference play on the 4th of the new year. January 4th, 2020. That's against Alabama. They should win that game. But another game to circle before conference games. January 25th. Big 12 SEC Challenge down in Gainesville. But for right now, between Butler, Providence, and Utah State, those 3 games, I need to see improvement from the Florida Gators. I need to see improvement. I need to see a team that is hungry. I need to see a team that means business. Because Utah State, 7-1. Utah State is ranked 15 for a reason. They was ranked in the preseason rankings for a reason. Let's see here. They lost to St. Mary's. Okay. They beat LSU. They already beat the SEC team. I'm looking at the BYU game. I already said Florida. This team is averaging 81.4 points per game. Rebounding 41.9 points per game. Have 17 assists per game. It's a tie for 37, tie for 35, tie for 26. Now, if I go to Florida's rankings, I guarantee you they won't be nowhere close to that, because I'm looking at 67.6 points per game, 37.5 rebounds per game, 10.3 assists per game. I already told you they shooting 43.5 from the field, 30% from three-point range. They're averaging 12 to 13 turnovers a game. No, we are better than that. I need better from the Florida Gators. I need better. I just need better. Look at this. The 67.6 points per game, 295th and 95th in the country. 295th ranked in points per game. 37.5 rebounds per game, tied for 171st. Assists 10.3, tied for 381st in the country. What kind of team is this? What am I looking at here? I have to see improvement. Because I can tell you right now, I don't feel good about this team. I really don't. Be a one and done. They just blow everything. They should make the tournament. But I see a one and done team. As of right now, as of this recording, right now, in the month of December, the Florida Gators, my Florida Gators, are a one and done team. I'm here to tell you that. I'm just gonna keep honest. This is what I see. Michigan looks great. North Carolina is North Carolina. Duke is Duke. Kansas is Kansas. Michigan, Ohio State, Maryland, Utah State. There's more teams I can throw out there that look better than Florida right now. Arizona, Illinois, Dayton, Memphis, Auburn, Georgia, Gonzaga. It is what it is. Virginia, you can't even score on Virginia. Virginia can't score. You can't score on Virginia. But they're defending champs. This is it's baffling to me. But like I said, between Butler, Providence, Utah State. So by the time I come back and do another college basketball recording, which will probably be sometime before conference play, I can give you a more better feeling about the Florida Gators. But that's all I got for right now. So with that being said, because I ain't gonna take too much, I got one more thing to talk. I want to look ahead to the week that's finna come. It's the Big Ten and it's the ACC Challenge from the 2nd to the 4th. So when this recording is released on the 2nd, this will be beginning. Monday, December 2nd, the time I release this recording, it's Miami versus at Illinois. That's 7 p.m. ESPN2. And then after that, Clemson Tigers at the Minnesota Golden Gophers, 9 p.m. ESPN2. That's going to kick off the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Day 2, Tuesday, December 3rd. Iowa is at the Carrier down to take on this Syracuse Orange Man. That's 7 p.m. ESPN2. Here's the big one. Michigan Wolverines on the road to number 2 Louisville, who probably will be number 1 by the time. They might be number 1 by the time they play, because Louisville ain't no joke. I'm looking forward to that game. That's a game to watch. Michigan at Louisville. Rutgers will be at Pitt, 9 p.m. ESPNU. Florida State will go on the road to take on Indiana. That's a game to watch. 9 p.m. ESPN2. That's a game to watch. Number 1 Duke, number 3 Michigan State. They probably won't have those rankings by the time they play. But it's Duke and Michigan State. It's Tom Izzo versus Coach K. It's the Blue Devils versus the Spartans. It's going down in East Lansing, Michigan. 9:30 ESPN after the Wolverines and Louisville Cardinals get together. Northwestern Wildcats are at the Boston College Eagles. 7 p.m. ESPNU. You have some games to look at. Watch this challenge. Watch this challenge. This challenge is going to show you about 2 of the greatest conferences in college basketball. I'm telling you. And then Wednesday, on the 4th of December, this coming Wednesday, the Ohio State Buckeyes are going to Chapel Hill to take on the North Carolina Tar Heels. 9:30 ESPN. That's your headliner on Wednesday. Look at it. Watch it. I'm telling you right now. Virginia, the defending champ, they're going to Purdue. That's a game to watch. 7:15 ESPN2. Can Purdue make shots, or will Virginia continue to be Virginia? We're going to see. Nebraska Cornhuskers are at the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. That's on ESPNU. 7:15. Notre Dame Fighting Irish are at the 5th-ranked Maryland Terrapins. It's the Irish. It's the Terrapins. Basketball. 7:30 ESPN. That's before you get Ohio State, North Carolina. Wisconsin and NC State get together. I'm really imagining seeing that game because North Carolina State looks pretty good right now. For right now, they look pretty good right now. Wisconsin is Wisconsin, so they struggling right now, but they'll find their way. 9:15 ESPN2. That's after Virginia and Purdue. Wake Forest, Penn State. 9:15 ESPNU. So watch the Big Ten ACC Challenge. You're going to be watching 2 conferences that are top-notch in basketball go head-to-head for this. let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 14 games between the 2nd on Monday, between the end of Wednesday on the 4th. 14 games, ACC Big Ten Challenge. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know which side to go with them. Be on that one. I think I like Illinois on Monday. I think I'm gonna go with Clemson on Monday. So that's 1-1 each. So I'm gonna say they split on Monday. Then I think I might go with Louisville over Michigan. I think I might go with Iowa over Sarah Pitt. Yes. Indiana over Florida State. I think I'm leaning towards Michigan State over Duke, and I think I get Boston College that over Northwestern. So I'm gonna say Iowa, Rutgers, Indiana, Michigan State, and then I got Louisville, Boston College. So that's 4-2 on a Tuesday. So you're talking 5-3 going into the final night, which I'll pick North Carolina. I'll pick Virginia. I think I'll go Georgia Tech. I'll go Maryland, Wisconsin, probably Penn State. So yeah, from what I'm counting at, I'm taking the Big Ten over the ACC 8-6. If you go the top notch teams for each conference, that would be for the ACC: Duke, Louisville, Virginia, North Carolina. Take the tops from them: Michigan State, Maryland, Ohio State, and then you'll throw Wisconsin up there. But then you gotta add Illinois in there. Rutgers looking good, Indiana looking good, Ohio State looking good. So yeah. Big Ten over the ACC 8-6 on that one. But this challenge will be a good one to watch as we get ready to close out 2019 and get ready to go into 2020. I'll be back to do some more basketball. I'll be doing some more, try to get another NBA episode in here before the New Year's. Definitely doing some more college. I will be doing another college basketball episode for the New Year's. But nevertheless, thank you for starting your week with the Playmakers Blog Podcast. If you haven't noticed, we're getting ready for championship weekend in college football, 10 championship games, and we're also going to pick the Army-Navy game, which is the week after. We're going to pick that already. NFL, we're going to talk about what's going on with Jacksonville, what's going on with the Rams. Big game between Baltimore and San Francisco. We're going to talk about Seattle, Minnesota, the winner of that. Get ready for the next week. So we getting close to postseason time in football. So, basketball is about to pick up. So other than that, I just want to thank you guys for the support, for all the love that you have given us over the years, this year and a half of us doing podcasting. So, if you didn't know, we are on iHeartRadio too. So we're on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, Overcast, iHeartRadio. So we're trying to move up. We keep doing our thing and be grateful. Be grateful. We just had Thanksgiving, Christmas is coming up, man. Be grateful. Be thankful on the holiday season, man. Thank the God above us for the life that He's given us. And it doesn't take time. It'll take longer. That's the prayer about it. To start feeling better. So thank you for y'all support. Continue to support us in any way that you can. And we'll talk to y'all later.